It powers the personal.
Say that again. That was really cool.
It powers the personal. And you know what we need for that? Hey, does anybody agree? Right, that's great. That's perfect. That's what I wanted. Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's video. I'm Rob.
And I'm Ruben.
And guess what we're going to talk about today?
We are going to be talking about how to pitch Dubb.
Yes, very important because it's all about connection, conversation, and conversions. That's what this is all about. So one of the first things we're going to talk about is the problem. This is going to be really special because we are going to go over to the white wall on this one because this is super big. Come on over here with me. Here we go. With text-based communication, you lose a lot of things, okay? When you communicate via text, whether it's SMS or it's email, you immediately lose trust. Immediately, right out of the gate. And when you lose trust, you lose humanity. That sad face right there. So you've lost trust, you've lost humanity, and what does that do? You don't get any impact out of that. So when you're trying to communicate with another human being, the last thing you want to do is lose trust, lose humanity, lose impact. Three things.
Now, when we think about the solution, we think about how we can use video to get three things. Number one is more connections. Number two is more conversations. And number three is more sales conversions. That's what you want, right? More sales conversions. So how to pitch Dubb is how to drive all three of those things. And there's actually a bunch of more C's that we're going to get into in a minute.
And there's a big E, which is education. You're educating people that don't know about Dubb and the fact of how important video actually is. So, all right, what is Dubb? Dubb is the sales operating system. Now I'm going to say that again. It is the sales operating system.
The SOS.
The SOS. So a business or salesperson out there in the wild, if you're putting up the SOS, so to speak, for help, because you're not making connections, you're not having conversations, and you're not making conversions, ironically enough, the SOS sales operating system is your answer.
That's it. And when people think about Dubb, they often think about video because we do video very well. We have all the technology, all the functionality so that you can create videos, that you can share videos, and ultimately track videos. But Dubb is so much more than just video creation. With Dubb, you can record and share video. So this is a very important part of Dubb. The second piece, which is really important, is the ability to track the client journey. What we're referring to is leveraging data to understand where people are in your flywheel and your funnel and your buying process and your sales process, whatever you want to call it. So by understanding what people are doing and what they're not doing, frankly, we can make more educated decisions. Content management is a really important part of Dubb because it's actually one of the things that differentiates us in so many ways from Dubb, because the second that you have access to contact data, you can have personalization, specifically personalization at scale. So contact management on Dubb is what powers tags, it's what powers campaigns, emails, SMS. We're going to get into that. Also automated workflows, all those typically are triggered at the tag level or at the activity level, which is all contingent on people, which of course are your contacts. And the last thing that we like to talk about is sales automation. Automation is, in my opinion, the final frontier of sales because it's my two favorite words, scalable
and repeatable.
That's it. And with automation, I think that you can clone yourself. You can build workflows, email, SMS, and you can put yourself out there on a lot of different channels, engage with people, have that personal touch, have them connect to you. They see you, they feel you, they trust you, they want to engage with you, and ultimately they want to work with you. And then even become referrals and testimonials and all the great stuff post-sale. We will get into that later.
And what do you love to say? It's not about closing a sale, it's about opening a relationship.
That's it. So what does Dubb do?
At the end of the day, as a sales representative or business owner, whatever you are, conversions at the end of the day is what you need. So we're going to get into use cases. All right. Now, I'm going to start with prospecting. Prospecting has been around forever. We're not talking about the gold prospecting. We're talking about sales prospecting. Now, the reason we bring this cycle up is because cold calling, old, antiquated, all these different traditional ways of selling need to be thrown out the proverbial window. Okay? There's new ways of doing things, and the sales operating system is exactly this. So let's go back over to color. Okay. So now we're going to talk about this prospecting to begin with, and we're going to go into an example in a second, but prospecting in general is the outreach, right?
Yeah.
It is the initial outreach. So
farming, they call it farming in some real estate. They still call it farming, which is interesting.
Well, we're going to grow some really nice vegetables with
Yes,
this. Okay, so now I want you to imagine in the world, there is a text-based outreach and there is a nice smiling GIF video outreach. I want you to imagine there is a cold call being made. Oh, you're bugging me. Who even is this, right?
Scam likely.
Yeah, bug likely. Anything likely other than an actual close and an opening of a relationship. So, prospecting. We're going to show an example right here. Let's show an email, Ruben.
So here we have a Gmail window, and we'll see the ability to click on the Chrome extension here. Okay. Now, when the Chrome extension is activated and you actually click on that widget, you can select a video that exists in your library. You can also record a video. You can upload a video as an MP4. You can add a video from YouTube. And then, of course, you can monitor some of your activity reporting. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select this video. This one's a fun one. This one is you drinking your Starbucks, your venti, your mocha frappuccino, giving great life advice here.
Let's make a quick point about this, okay? This is really important. So Ruben's going to show something. He just put the video into the email, but what does he need to put in there with the video so it doesn't go to spam? A line of context. So let's look at that right now.
Okay, cool. So I think what's really important here is to have that subject line.
Yes.
So in this case, I wrote, video in brackets.
Yep.
Check out this video.
And you need, within the email, you need to write, hi, Ruben. This is Rob. So a line of context within the body of the email that gets the person ready to watch this video. This engaging video of someone drinking some coffee about to drop some knowledge. Isn't that much more fun than seeing a boring text email that you're scanning through and you have no idea even what it's about? That's what it's all about right there. And that is breaking through the noise that we always talk about.
What's so interesting is that when you mention breaking through the noise, I mean, that's one of the most important parts of prospecting. It's having a competitive edge. It's getting people's attention, getting them to respond to you. I mean, look at our LinkedIn inbox. So this is what a typical inbox looks like.
A lot of text-based messaging, a lot of stuff that you can tell is very stocky and doesn't make any kind of impact. Yep.
There's a lot of noise in prospecting. Yep. We need to punch through.
Yep. And the Dubb integration with LinkedIn is fantastic, just like the email.
Now, I got a question for you.
What do you got?
You're the master of prospecting with video. You have created videos that have truly delighted people. What is your flow? Like when you grab your phone, what does that look like? What's your story?
Okay, so as we all know, there's lots of ways to record on Dubb, which is something you always want to express to someone and let them know, okay? One of my favorite is the mobile app, okay? So if I opened up the mobile app and said, hey, this is Rob over here at Dubb. I just made this video for you because I'm so excited about what we're doing over here, and these features are going to help you so much in your business. You know what? Book a time on my calendar below and send me a video right back. We're super passionate about this. Boom. Now, if I wanted to add any clips to this, okay, any kind of clips to the mobile app, you can shoot them in clips. You can move the clips around. You can trim the clips. You can edit the clips. You can flip the camera around and say, hey, Ruben, I want to show Ruben over here with me. Boom. Right? Go right back. Combine the clips. You can add music to them, royalty-free music. We have a huge library that you can use, right? You can add text above my head that floats. You can pinch it and put a message above, which is pretty cool.
Well, burning text into a video, that's a really good way to get someone's attention, because when they see that animated GIF that we just looked at in Gmail, they can see the text. So there's so many features in the Dubb mobile app. You got to check them out.
And if you want to relate to the kids out there, it's really, TikTok for business. That's really what it's about. Yeah. So that's the whole recording and prospecting aspect. Now, the next part of the sales process is, Ruben, the
follow-up.
What is it?
The follow-up.
You got it. It's the follow-up.
Here's an interesting screen share of a message actually that was sent to me. This is from Xavier Smith here. So how can I not click on that video? Instead of receiving just simple text, here I have an opportunity to actually watch him in video.
Right. Now, let's go over here for a second because I'm going to get important on this. Now, follow-up, we all have to do it. How many times have we heard nudging? Let's just nudge this to your inbox. Let me remind you of this, blah, 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 blah. The most important thing in follow-up is you want to have something meaningful and value-based to say. Do you know how you do that with Dubb and the SOS? You do that with data, which immediately makes you smart, because when you do cold calling, okay? When you do cold calling, it is not smart calling. You are interrupting the person, whatever they're doing. You are creating a very bad listening environment, okay? The listening environment is garbage. It's terrible. The person getting sold something doesn't even want to listen. The person trying to sell it isn't getting the sale. So when you're following up, you look at the data. Oh, someone watched my video. Oh, someone viewed my video page. Let's see what that looks like in real time over here, Ruben.
This is an example of real-time data reporting. So what I've done here in the Dubb dashboard is that I've gone to the activity reporting section and I filtered based on page views and video views. CTA clicks is another high engagement category here. And if you notice here, there's a lot of different engagements that's happening to various videos. So here I see two in particular. Here's a real estate outreach video that actually you did 2 hours ago, and someone has watched 100% of your videos. So what's the plan? What's the plan of action now?
Okay, so plan of action is a smart call.
Nice.
A smart call.
Nice.
Because what are the chances that person who watched 100% of your video is going to, number one, retain it, number two, know what you're talking about immediately when you bring it up? It's a perfect way to follow up. You need a reason. That's the reason. Use the data.
Well, first of all, what's the difference between nurturing and follow-up?
So with follow-up, okay, it's the immediate thing you do after you've made your initial outreach. But when you do your nurturing, that is because the first two attempts, the prospecting and the follow-up, didn't hit the nail on the head, right? Now, if it did hit the nail on the head, you still want to follow, you still want to nurture in general, but nurturing is important because you want to bring value, okay? Now, when you bring value, Ruben, this is huge. When you bring value, hey, we're updating this feature. Hey, we're working on this. I'm letting you know, like a newsletter, right? But a video version of that. So you let them know we're working on this feature. I would love to tell you more about it. Book a time in my calendar. This leads into automation. This leads into workflows. You can decide how often you want to update someone on what you're doing, but nurturing is so important and video makes the connection.
Oh, that was
All right, yeah. Woo, all right.
Here's actually a pro tip. I don't share a lot of this sort of functionality of Dubb, but I want to do a better job of that. It's the ability to import a video from YouTube into Dubb. So this is a really powerful feature. I want you to picture YouTube, which is the world's second largest search engine that has a video on basically everything. It's got TED Talks, instructional videos, tutorial videos. In the nurturing process, why not find a video that's relevant for your prospect, for whatever it is that they're going through, and share that video with them? Now, it's one thing to send them the YouTube link, and you can do that and it works. But if you actually take that YouTube link and import it into your Dubb account, you can actually package that video up with your calls to action, with some activity reporting, specifically a button to book a time in your calendar. It makes the whole thing very actionable. So this is what that looks like right here. So if you go to the Dubb website, this actually works on the Dubb Chrome extension as well. But if you go to the Dubb website and click on the camera icon on the top, and then actually just click on the YouTube button here, you can just paste the URL of the YouTube video. And then once you've done that, what it does is that it packages up that video in a whole landing page. This happens within seconds. Another pro tip is to get your presets set up. And once that's done, again, you'll have a beautiful landing page with your calls to action, reply with video, learn about success stories, book a time in your calendar. And there it is in all of its glory, the calendar widget.
And what a wonderful way. What a wonderful way. Instead of putting just a boring link in someone's message or email that no one's going to click on, you take that video from YouTube, wherever else you want it, and you package it within the beautiful Dubb packaging.
There it is.
Yep.
Client communication.
Okay, so the deal with client comm is this, and there have been studies out there that have been done. If you send a client a video talking to them about what the communication is about, what they need to do, directives, all that good stuff, or if you send them a text-based communication, I know you've heard this story before, retention is better with the video, impact is better with the video, results are better with the video for your client. So for me, and Ruben and I and the whole team, when you communicate with your team, okay, with your team, why not use the most impactful tool possible, and that is client comm, and that is using video for it, right?
You know, when we think about communicating with your clients, we think about communicating with them in a way that makes them want to continue to work with you and then actually refer their contacts. Because your best marketers are your existing clients. You've heard that before, but what better way to convince them that you're worthy of a referral than to actually doing good communication. And of course, video is the solution for that. So we always recommend use the Chrome extension, use the Dubb mobile app, use the Dubb desktop app. Let me give you a quick sneak peek on that. So here it is, Maybe you don't know about this, maybe you do, but this is the entire Dubb experience in a desktop app, and you can do everything here. Use this, install it, and use it to communicate with your clients.
Yep.
They will love it.
It's huge. It was such an unlock when you guys came up with the app.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we got next? So what's after ClientCom?
Well,
Ooh.
it's the testimonials, which is this is my favorite one.
Yes, this is all you, Ruben. This is where the tech comes alive, because when you get a testimonial from someone, it is absolute gold. That's been the case for a long time, but in particular, what Ruben's going to show you here with the tech, it makes it even easier for the person giving you the testimonial.
Yeah. Testimonials do not need to be overproduced. They can be very raw. It can be grabbing a phone, recording a quick story, how it changed someone's life, and that can be a totally viable testimonial. So that's it. Testimonials are so important because they are social proof. They show that someone has had success, okay? And no one wants to be a customer of a company for a product or service unless they know that someone else is getting success. Finding your first customer is one of the most challenging things. Finding your 100th customer is still challenging. Finding your 1000th becomes much easier. And the way to get to that is, in fact, testimonials. So I'm going to share my screen here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show how easy it is to get a testimonial.
This is a complete unlock in terms of how easy it is to get the feedback that you need that you can use.
Any video on Dubb can have a call to action on it. In fact, it can have multiple calls to action. And one of those calls to action is reply with video. So what I want you to picture here is sending a video to your current customers and saying, hey, you know what? I'm interested in learning about your success story, your case study, how you're using my product or service, and I'd love to get some brutally honest feedback from you. In videos like that, typically what happens is people will communicate what they feel, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And chances are, if you have a good relationship with them, the ugly, those are just opportunities. Those are ways to improve the relationship, the product, the service. The good, on the other hand, is in fact a potential testimonial. So here's how easy it is to capture a testimonial. This call to action, reply with video, all you have to do is ask them to record the video, and then they can actually record the testimonial right here, right from this widget.
Nothing to download, nothing to wait, boom, opens right up.
That's it right there. If you're thinking that testimonial videos need to be done in a studio environment with hair and makeup and a mic and fancy lighting, those are great, and we don't want to knock those. However, there is something really powerful about an authentic testimonial, one that was not contrived, one that was not written by a writer, one that came from the heart. And that tool is relevant for those types of testimonials. So yeah, maybe it's not for all the testimonials that you're going to record, but for those authentic ones, highly recommend using the reply with video feature on Dubb. Please Google it, go to support.dubb.com. You can learn more about that.
And there's no pressure to the synchronous testimonial of someone asking you something. It's asynchronous, which we love. They make their video, they send it. Okay, this is the big one. This is the big one, the big R, not Ruben, not Rob. This is a big R. It is referrals. Referrals, okay? And how do you get referrals? This is the key one, and this hasn't changed over the course of time. It's a matter of fact about how you do it. You have to ask for the referral. Ask for the referral. And the best way to do that is with video. So I think one of the biggest thing about referrals is when you provide a service or product in general, whatever it is, the person on the other end, when they realize the value of that, right? They realize the value. So the way to phrase the question is, Ruben, I know that you love using Dubb. Do you know anyone that would want to be on the path that you're on and see the value that you're seeing?
Yeah. Well, it's always a hard question to ask. Can you refer me to new clients? Because chances are, if you have to ask that, you might be dead in the water at that point, because you might come off as a little desperate, right? How do we sort of circumnavigate that? Looking of desperation. How do we say, hey, listen, love to have your story, similar, something shared, someone else, who else is out there? Let's talk. There's a lot of different ways that you can communicate that. I think this is really going to come down to a personal choice of how you want to ask that referral, but I think you have to tread lightly on this one.
And always lead with value.
Yeah.
Always lead with value. That's the key. Value and respect. So those are the use cases with Dubb. And in fact, those use cases are the history of use cases with sales, but it's been updated now with the sales operating system for the most effective way to do it. Now, we're going to talk about the Dubb platform. Ruben, what do we got?
All right, so here we go. So the Dubb platform, it really comes down to 5 different sections. Okay, number 1 is video. Number 2 is contact management. We talked about that. Number 3 is campaigns. Campaigns is the ability to broadcast a message to a large group of people, email, SMS. The third is automations. These are automated workflows. Sometimes they're called drip sequences. When you meet someone at a conference, you can tag them in the contact profile. It could be a large group of people, and then that triggers some sort of a sequence of emails, a sequence of SMS, even updating their contact profiles. So automations, as we always talk about, is the final frontier of sales. It makes it all scalable and repeatable. We will talk about automations more. And then the last piece about Dubb is the CRM, deals, tasks, custom fields. When we think about Dubb as a CRM tool, we don't think about it necessarily as something that has to replace your existing CRM, although it can. So if you want to integrate Dubb into your existing CRM, Salesforce, HubSpot, dozens and dozens of CRMs, in fact, hundreds, that's absolutely viable. If you want to replace it, that's cool too. It's really up to you. We kind of play how you want to play. We meet you where you work.
Yeah, and that's something, the integrations is key. That's why we have so many integrations with so many different CRMs. So whatever you love, stay with it if you love it.
The next bit of this video is the Dubb platform. So the first thing that I'd like to do is just kind of do a quick run through of what that looks like. So the video section on Dubb is the ability to manage a library of videos. So we mentioned there's a lot of different ways that you can record videos into Dubb. Number 1 is the Chrome extension, the Dubb mobile app, the Dubb desktop app, and in fact the Dubb website. So if you click on that red button within your Dubb dashboard, you can actually import a video from YouTube as an MP4. You can record it with your webcam. You can of course record your screen as well.
Yep.
Okay. The next piece is contact management. So when we think about contact management, again, we're thinking about the client journey. So if I take just a connection right here that I have, I'll just very quickly be able to show what that looks like. So here's a contact. This is just a sample contact. You'll notice there's a couple of different things that you can do here. Number 1 is the ability to add tags. So by adding tags, we can do a whole plethora of things. We can trigger workflows, we can manage our contacts, a lot of powerful things. Another thing we can do is create tasks, notes. We can even send an email on a one-to-one basis to someone right through the Dubb platform. You can do this through Outlook, through Gmail, a lot of different channels. You can send an SMS, you can log a call. These are kind of standard CRM features. But what's also really important, which we showed earlier, is the activity reporting. And that's where we can actually show if someone clicks on a video, if they watch a video, what percentage of the video they watched, and so on and so forth. The next feature of Dubb, which is powerful, is the campaigns. So campaigns are the ability to trigger an email or an SMS to a large group of people. So this is an example of a campaign that actually we sent, which shows the data. So this is going to show all sorts of real-time reporting, how many recipients there were, how many clicked on the call to action, how many failed. And in fact, what we'll have right here is the very detailed activity reporting. So this actually shows the actual people's names from the actual companies and what they've done with respect to the content to the email that we sent. Very powerful. The next piece is automations. Not enough time in this video to talk about automations because it's a whole world of information, but this is kind of a sneak peek of automations. When you think of automations, think of having a contact or a group of contacts that you can actually trigger workflows for. So very powerful, encourage you to do your own research on that. And then the last piece is Dubb as a CRM. So this is an example of a Kanban board here. You can actually go to multiple different life cycle stages and then add a new deal here. Of course, as mentioned before, there's tasks. So this is another way to add tasks to sort of have collaboration with your team. Very powerful stuff. A lot of tech here. Please do your research. One of the things that we always encourage people to do is if you're on the Dubb platform and you don't know what a particular feature is, click on that tooltip right there. There's a little tooltip with a little info icon, and then you'll notice there's a little arrow. This is sort of an external link that's going to give you the support article. And the beauty of these support articles is that most likely there is a video in these support articles, and there it is. So we encourage you to watch those videos and get yourself educated. Clicking around is one of the best things you can do because you learn.
And one of the best things too is to, when you're selling Dubb, to remind them of the absolute unbelievable level of customer support that the team does in terms of the articles that are created, the videos. There's all kinds of places, like Ruben said. There's the shortcut guide. There's the little intercom box that is a keyword search. There's the tasks within your Dubb dashboard. There are all kinds of areas for you to find the help that you need, because I guarantee you, if you've asked the question, it's been asked before and there's going to be an answer. And that immediately leads us to the Dubb support channel, right?
Yeah,
it's
so
huge.
Go to YouTube, check out Dubb support. That's our support channel. We actually have another channel, which is the main channel. That is actually the ability to kind of watch some of our primary content. We also have a community, community.dubb.com. We also have 2 Facebook groups, the Dubb sales and marketing group, and then of course the partner group. We also do live training. We actually do this 5 times a week now.
Did you say 5?
5 times a week we're doing this.
Did you say 5?
5 times a week.
5 times a week. You know what that means?
That's it. So we put a lot of time into the training. Every day, 10 a.m. Pacific. Let me actually give you a sneak peek on where you can find that in your dashboard, on where you can link to it. So if you go in your dashboard right here on the right side, you're going to notice that there's a link right here to actually join the live training. So there it is, live training. Just click on that register now button and you will be registered. This is all of our articles, our entire knowledge base. Very, very powerful stuff. If this video has been valuable to you, we encourage you
get the word out, because when you're selling Dubb and you're out there, you're spreading the word, but you're educating people. Less than 3% of the world uses video for prospecting and client comm and all that good stuff. We've got to get those numbers up, and there's an absolute opportunity there. So with 30% recurring commission, right? That's motivating. And what's the retention rate, Ruben?
Well,
what's the percentage of people when they subscribe to Dubb they stay?
I think you mentioned 2 very, very cool things. Number 1 is Dubb Partners.
Yep.
So we encourage people to go in the dashboard to the Dubb Partners widget and become a Dubb partner. That means you have the ability to earn 30% recurring commission. We are so passionate about this program. We have over 2,000 partners in our program, and that's growing by the day. So we invite you to that. I think the other thing that's really relevant about Dubb is that our retention rate's very, very high. People that use Dubb stick around with Dubb, and because they see the results. It's the biggest thing here. One of the sections that we're really proud of on our website is actually the testimonials section. So if you actually go to dubb.com/testimonials, you'll notice there's a lot of testimonials here. So we encourage you to check these out, because they are real users that are gaining real results.
Ruben, great job.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Again, please consider subscribing to this channel, share it, leave a comment. Love to hear from you.
We're going to be coming back with more content. We love this stuff. We love doing it. We want to get it out there to you, because selling Dubb is getting people educated on Dubb. You're going to help them in their business and their sales, and it's just a great thing to do.
Nice. Did you want to click that finish button right there?
Oh, we have a finish button?
We have a finish button.
Oh my God, we have a finish button. Okay, here it goes. Ready, everyone? Everyone, finish.
Hi, it's Ruben from Dubb, and I wanted to personally thank you for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. And if you'd like to get a free trial on Dubb, just visit dubb.com in a browser near you. And if you do need support, please email support@dubb.com or email me directly at askruben@dubb.com. Thank you again for supporting us, and we will see you at the next video. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the videos might pop up somewhere to the left or to the right here. I'm not really sure, but hopefully you enjoy those as well. Thank you so much. Goodbye.